Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. It is the podcastiest of all podcasts and the most action moviest of all action movie. It's not an action movie. I can't back that one up. But I am your host, Dan, and of course, your other host is Charlie. Charlie, say hello to everyone.
You had a little extra caffeine today, didn't you there, Dan?
well, the hype song, man. It's that hype song that always gets me going.
I love our hype song. And I don't think anyone could ever guess what our actual hype song before the podcast is. That might be
No,
a fun little contest later on to
Well, unbeknownst to you, I recorded the last minute of that. The first minute of this recording tonight is us doing pre-show with the hype song. So I've now got it on audio. So whenever you want to hold that contest and whoever wins, we will send them the file.
There we go.
All
I
right,
like
Charlie.
that.
Yeah, I think that's the way we do that.
You win but lose at the same time.
Absolutely. So someone's gonna
man.
die if they do that.
Oh man.
All righty, Charlie. How was your week, buddy? Good?
Week's good, man. Week's really good.
Yeah. A whole week between recording of these episodes, it goes quickly, but it doesn't go quickly. You notice
No.
that?
Yeah, it does. Like I almost kind of wish we were like recording weekly, but then I could realize the chaos that would cause.
Oh
So
yeah.
I still like the every 2 week, but I don't know, it just gets me hyped up, gives me plenty of time to watch the movie and watch subsequent movies because I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, you're really into it. So speaking of movies, this is a little behind the curtains here. This is the last movie that we have pre-picked, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
for our initial run of episodes. Not that we didn't expect to do more episodes than just 6, but we had only really kind of picked out the first 6. So after this, we got to start talking about what our next set of movies are. I mean, we've only got what? Let's see, we do 2 a month, one every 2 weeks, 52. So it's only going to be what, like 25, 26 episodes a year.
About
So
26, yeah.
yeah, we've got to really kind of choose what movies we want to do, I think.
Yeah, like you said, we didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, and we're kind of following. I don't want to say a formula, but we've been kind of hitting the high notes of action moviedom.
The
So
Mount Rushmore
yeah, and not
actors, maybe.
actors, not so much the movie
Right,
themselves,
right,
but we're hitting the Chuck Norris, the Arnold
right.
Schwarzenegger, the Jean-Claude Van Damme. We did deviate a little bit for the holiday specials, but I felt like
Yeah,
that was fun. People seem to enjoy that, and it threw
yeah.
threw a little bit of mix into things. So, but we
Well, yeah, and here's the thing too. We didn't necessarily pick the quote unquote best movies
no,
or maybe not even necessarily our favorite movies from each actor. We have some movies that um we would have put out with different actors in them, but we're reserving those. We're holding them back. I may I don't want to say until we get things tightened up on the ship here a little bit, but I mean we want to hold those back just a little bit longer
yeah,
until we're really really ready for those.
well, and that's kind of what happened on this one because I've come to realize with this particular movie, which we're doing the whole thing again where we're trying to hide the name of it, and they've already seen the title. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're doing Cobra this week,
Mhm.
and Sylvester Stallone, obviously. And I think in researching this movie and going back through movies he's already done, he may be my actual favorite action movie actor from this era. I think he has a bigger catalog of movies that I
Yeah.
think just kinda
Yeah.
hit on the right notes. Now Stallone way or, Schwarzenegger, way up there. I mean, it's probably neck yeah, it's neck and neck, really, and that's some thick necks, but
Yeah.
um, it's like Stallone just edges him out ever so slightly. And we both have a favorite Stallone movie that we agree about that is probably going to be one of our five Al Leongs. And we
Yeah.
decided not to do that one right now. And I don't know. I think going with Cobra, I wanted to stay with this kind of gritty, darker action movie.
The thing about Cobra, I mean, so you talk about Sylvester Stallone, and I kind of have to agree with you because as much as I liked Schwarzenegger and even Chuck Norris and them, Stallone did different subgenres of action movies. I
Yeah.
mean, you had like Cliffhanger and Daylight as the rescue action movies. You
Mhm.
had obviously Rambo's, and you had uh, um, this one here. You know, you had the Rambo's, you had the like the military style. Then you had the cop ones with this.
You had like
But you also had like
this.
the
Yeah.
well, you had comedy ones too, like Tango and Cash. I think it's a super underrated
Oh,
action movie.
absolutely.
I love that. It's one of my absolute favorites. Him and Kurt Russell. So you know, I would agree. I think across the board, you know, you have Judge Dredd. I mean, across the
Yeah.
board, you have a ton of Schwarzenegger or Stallone based. You had me do it too.
Yeah.
Stallone based action movies. Yeah, I think he's probably the best. I mean, even Rocky more is it's definitely more a drama. The first one for sure. The second one is a
Yeah.
little bit more
They kind
action-y, I guess.
they
But
did, but it was still more like that sports kind of movie, you know.
sure,
Eh,
sure.
and I like the Rocky movies for sure, but I was always drawn to his,
Hey man, he's bench pressing a log. Come on, dude.
yeah. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger carried a log, in Commando, so we can't compare
That's
logs.
true.
This is getting weird
And
real quick.
Mr. Miyagi broke one in half.
Yeah.
Uh,
Log no hit back. Um,
that's right. Tree no hit back.
no, so I think we chose to go with Cobra because A, you hadn't seen it probably what,
Oh,
a
a
decade or more?
decade, probably a decade. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it was one that I remember when we talked about it. I went, yeah, let's do Cobra because I remember when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I remember liking it
yeah.
because it really reminded me of some of the Dirty Harry movies.
Well, absolutely. Uh,
You know, it really did. I
there
mean,
was
it's California, so I mean, I guess that's one connection there, but I mean, it's gritty.
no, there's a lot of Dirty Harry influences on this one. This is in doing the research on this, we'll get into the synopsis here in a second. I found out that Stallone is a heck of a screenwriter and actually has done a majority of his own movies or at least reworked the script to some degree.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stroke when it comes to these movies.
He does, and
Yeah.
you usually do the director thing, but there's gonna have to be like an asterisk beside it because essentially Stallone directed this movie. Um,
Yeah, and I did see some stuff though where some people were not super thrilled with him on set because of some of the control
yeah, well,
issues that he had.
him and the actual director. Well, go ahead and tell him who the
Yeah.
director is on this.
So the director of this one was George P. Cosmatos,
Cosmatos.
Cosmatos, and he's got 11 director credits to his name on the old IMDb. It goes back to 1971 doing a movie called The Beloved, and he did a few up there until the one that we're going to be real familiar with, 1985's Rambo: First Blood Part Two.
Yep.
And then obviously after that, he did Cobra,
Hmm.
he did Leviathan, and the one that I'm real big that jumped out to me was Tombstone.
Yeah.
He was the director of Tombstone in '93. So, um, you know, after seeing that, I tried to watch Cobra 2, going, can I pick those things out? Can I pick out
Doubtful
a directing style?
because this
Um,
is a straight up Stallone directed this movie. I mean,
he
it's
really kind of did. I mean, there's a few instances of where I go, that's kind of Tombstone-y,
no,
but
yeah,
you're right. This is yeah. I would say that if Stallone was the director, yeah,
yeah.
that he directed it.
And it's also digging into these things, as I just we both agreed that he's probably our favorite action movie. He's
Mhm.
kind of a prima donna on the set, you know,
Yeah,
especially
I've heard
this
that.
well, this movie in particular reading through, there's like that no one talked real bad about him, but just kind of the way he came off initially at sometimes. He was
Mhm.
just like, don't talk to me, don't come near me, don't do this. But then there's other people that have been interviewed saying, well, after, a little while of doing this, he kind of I don't know if you could say warmed up. And another fun fact about this movie
Chilled
is,
out.
yeah, chilled out, chill out. Um, this is a canon movie. Even though it
Yeah,
says Warner Brothers, this was a joint venture because Canon needed more money. A, because of Stallone. B, because of the way Stallone wrote it. This is a very action heavy movie, and Canon gave Warner Brothers the distribution option as long as they
mhm.
kicked in a few bit of money. But when you watch it, I think it only says Canon at the very beginning before the movie starts, and then everything else is Warner Brothers as it goes.
Yeah, yeah, the company credits Warner Brothers, Cannon Group, and of course, Golden Globus,
Yeah, which is
Productions as well, which
yeah,
is Canon,
that's
yeah.
Canon.
So we're getting into a little bit more of the technical specs of it, box office and stuff in the second half of the episode, but,
Yeah.
like you said, we will go ahead and get into the synopsis, I suppose. Any news? Any news you wanna talk about before we get into that?
Let's see. We just witnessed.
I mean, you did see a movie
I did. Uh,
last week.
did go and watch Godzilla versus Kong. No spoilers. You're gonna have to watch it to figure out who won. But
Well, I will spoil one thing. Monsters fight in this.
why'd you have to spoil it, Dan?
Well, I'm a jerk.
I'm gonna go and say this again. If you went to watch this movie for anything other than monsters fighting, you went to the wrong movie. It was not about the human plot. It was not about the acting. It was about giant monsters bashing on each other, and it
Right,
delivered 100%.
and you can hear Charlie on Sludgecast. They did a little,
We did
review?
a
A
spoiler-free
spoiler-free
review.
review. Right,
So
and you recorded it the night after you watched the movie,
yeah,
right?
we
You
left
went
the
right to the
theater.
studio.
We left the theater, went straight to Sludge's studio. His one of his co-hosts, Ruben, is actually in Texas, so he was 1 hour earlier of us watching it. So he was done an hour early before us. So we were all able to get together and do a review. We had Sludge's daughter Jada with us. Real quick, it was fun. Had a blast doing it. The movie was awesome. The movie at our theater sold out every showing on a Wednesday. So kind of good promise. And I'm also seeing that there's a hashtag uh, reboot the monsterverse. So everybody's
Yeah.
wanting the monsterverse back. Um,
Well, I did see that also it was the biggest draw, I guess, for, like, HBO Max since they've been out.
yeah, they said it's probably had the most amount of plays than anything on there. And in other news that is also tied with HBO Max, we get the new Mortal Kombat movie at the end of the month, which
Yep,
is
23rd.
a hard R. I mean, this is supposed to be as much blood as they could do without going X-rated.
Yeah, this, the costume design on it looks fantastic. The trailers, I'm sure most of you that are listening to this have seen a trailer or teaser or something of it. Um, I think it looks fantastic.
I can't wait.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. Mortal Kombat will be really good, I hope. And I'm
Fingers
glad you liked
crossed.
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. All right, let's get back in our own. So yes, if you want to hear that, go check out Sludgecast. Those guys cover it pretty well there.
Yep.
Let's get back in our personal realm here of the VHS era action movies and talk about the movie, Stallone movie, basically a full Stallone movie,
Yeah.
um, Cobra. So I'm going to do a quick synopsis. Charlie will correct me where I slip up because I tend to sometimes.
After last
Again,
episode, you're good, man.
man, like dude, it's fine. It's no big deal. Like I said, though, with this movie, I hadn't seen it in like a decade.
Yeah.
I watched it. We record these on Thursday nights, as most people know that are on in the group. Watched it on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You watched it
I watched it last
last
night
night.
with Jackie and
Yeah,
one more time today. And I've probably watched it more times than you ever have a chance to now.
yeah, yeah. If I do flub something, jump in here for me.
I'll catch it.
All right. So this movie is essentially about a hard-nosed police officer named they call him Cobra. Um his full name is Marion Cobretti.
Yep.
And it's Marion because that was John Wayne's real name was Marion, so that's kind of why he got that name. And Cobretti, he works in L.A. and he is on what they call the Zombie Squad, and they're basically the hard nosed cops that go out and take care of things that regular, quote unquote, regular officers can't take care of. So, what happens essentially is there's a murder cult, for lack of a better term, that are going around and serial killing people, and for no rhyme or reason. They're just picking people out of the blue, essentially. But the thing is, the main leader of it, they call the Night Slasher, and the Night Slasher has this big, wicked-looking blade, and he kills everyone. And during one of the attacks where they killed someone, a model named Ingrid, played by Brigitte Nelson, she drives by, happens to see them. He comes at her, so he sees her really well, and she books. So now the Night Slasher and his associates know that she has seen them. So now at this point, she's the only person that has seen the Night Slasher and survived. He and his cohorts go after her, and she's a model. So after a modeling shoot one night, they show up to kill her. She escapes and ends up in police protective custody under the watchful gaze of Cobra and his partner, um what's his name? Is it Monty? Gonzalez.
This is Gonzalez, yeah.
Gonzalez, yeah, his partner Gonzalez. So these two guys are both Zombie Squad members, and they're, like I said, they don't play around. They're the hard, tough cops. So in the process of her being in custody in the hospital, the Night Slasher finds her there and goes to attack her there, and is thwarted. But in the process of that, then after that, Cobra, he's fighting with the chief and the captains and stuff back at the police headquarters, and he decides he's taking her out of the city, taking her upstate, hide her out in the rural areas, and he does so. But they find him up there, and we're getting into more details later. But they find him up there, and the Night Slasher and basically an army of these murder cult members come after him, where they have to fight them off and protect Ingrid, and then of course have a final showdown at the end. And that's pretty much the synopsis of Cobra. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's more details here and there,
Yeah.
obviously, and we're going to get into those in the second half as well, and talk a little bit more about different parts, different bits, how they were able to track
Yeah.
where Cobra was with Ingrid the whole time. Um, Most of you can probably figure it out. It was an inside job,
It's an inside thing,
surprise.
but I
uh,
mean, really, the way they did it, they don't hide that
they
from you
did it.
very long, as
No,
a viewer.
as you watch it, pretty quick. I'll go ahead and just tell you that one of the Night Stalker's consort, I guess
We
they
just
kind of allude to
call
it.
her girlfriend for the lack of
Yeah,
a
yeah,
better term.
they kind of allude to it, but anyway, she's a cop.
She works for the police. Yep.
Yeah, she works for the police department. So she's able to, once Ingrid sees him, she's able to run the license plate, and that's how they track her down. And then
Yeah.
when they're going to go protect her, that's how she calls, tells
Sh
them about the hospital, and she tells them.
she gets put on the detail when
Hmm.
they take her out of town. She is a constant. She's actually another almost like lead character in this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah, that's how they kind of just keep following her and following her. Um, no, definitely what you would call an 80s trope, you know,
super cop kind
super
of.
cop, save the pretty girl,
Hmm.
quick love interlude,
Sure.
mouthy partner, and a police chief that screams at you the whole
Yeah, yeah.
time.
And there's obviously the one-liners and the buddy cop type stuff in there. But the one thing that really jumped out to me about the Cobra character is Stallone tried to make him as cool as the other side of the pillow, man. The
Oh yeah,
coolest dude he could. He wore these cool black I mean, cool for the 80s, mind you. The
I want a
80s,
pair.
86. 86 is when this came out. So he, cool black biker style cowboy boots, blue jeans that I don't know how he moved around in them. I mean, they were
Yep, they were,
4
like,
sizes too small.
painted on.
Yeah, they were ridiculous. Not that I was looking. Charlie was probably looking. I wasn't looking.
There
But,
was no way you couldn't see it in this
it
movie.
was pretty bad, yeah. You know, he had, like, the muscly shirt on, at one time he wore, like, a cool looking trench coat, the sunglasses,
Oh,
the whole
the
9.
aviator sunglasses, sir.
Yeah,
The
the aviator
high
sunglasses.
reflective, and then,
The one of the coolest things and in my opinion, a cast member. I believe a cast member uncredited was the Awesome 50, his car.
oh my
Charlie's a car guy.
god,
Charlie, talk about the car,
that
man.
Merc, man. That
That was his car.
that's his
That was
car.
Stallone's car. They made the stunt model cars for the
They built
stuff in
2,
it, but yeah.
one
Mhm.
for the jump and the
Off the
other
the parking garage,
off the
yep.
parking garage, and the other was for the chases.
Yes.
So all the close-up stuff, though, was Stallone's actual, 50 Merc. That thing is just a
Just flat primered out,
it was
beautiful sounding.
so what those are called in the car culture is
Yeah, I don't
a
know.
lead sled. So because they actually used lead back then on a lot of the body panels. And when you
Oh, okay.
see this car, you're just like, that is the epitome of lead sled right there.
Yeah,
It's
that car, like I said, I'm not a big car guy. If I had a dream car, it'd be Ecto 1 because I'm a nerd.
yeah.
But the Awesome 50 was bad ass.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just, so I credit it as a cast member because it's as memorable to me 10 years later as any of the characters or scenes in Cobra.
I think the only other inanimate object in that movie that was as noticeable was his handgun with the Cobra grips.
Yeah, yeah. He
And
had a pistol, white grips with a Cobra on them. Yeah.
yeah, so
Um, well, I don't know that knife, the Night Slasher's knife, man,
the night
recurve, clip tip with a D guard around the hand and spikes.
and, if I'm not mistaken, the guy that made it is the same guy that did the, Rambo survival knife because,
That sounds right. Yep.
Stallone reached out to him to he basically said, "Make a knife that it just is as memorable by itself." Like, people see
Yeah.
that knife and they know where it's from. So I would have
That's
to
exactly it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd have to imagine that's the guy that did the, Rambo survival knife, but yeah, that
Hmm.
and there's a funny thing I was reading on that because they do a couple of, like, close-ups on that knife to kinda get this glint of, because it's a very dark movie. Like, the
Yeah.
cult's in a
Yes.
sewer or something like that, and
Yeah. There's some goofy stuff
they
that
would
I'll
do this
mention
little thing with the
about it. But yeah,
knife where it would just reflect light. Well, in
they
order
would
to
turn it a certain way to catch that reflection kind of
so
thing.
to do that on camera so that it translated, they built a 3-foot replica of the knife. Then they
Really.
did like a paint it was a plastic one, but they did a paint job that looked like chrome, and
Hmm.
that's how they were able to get the camera so close to it without losing detail,
Oh,
and
okay.
they
Okay.
would be able to turn it into the light and get that glint. But just think about that. There was a 3-foot version of this knife floating around somewhere that
That's pretty
that
awesome.
would be insane.
Yeah, you definitely get that and like put it above your mantle.
Absolutely. That was cosplay
Hey,
before cosplay was a thing, man.
hey, man. Sidebar: if I could ever have one movie prop to put in my house like that, it's the Roger Young.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah, the ship from Starship Troopers.
There was a guy
Uh,
selling the Red October at one point. Um,
that'd have been pretty cool. Put that in the bathroom,
the
right above
no,
the
no,
toilet.
no. This thing was 25 feet long. It was the model they used for the exterior shots.
So
So
almost as big as the USS Flag.
almost well, yeah,
Yeah,
think
no,
about that on the
bigger
big
for
scale, but
sure.
I mean, wrap your head around that's the length of some mobile homes is 25 feet long,
Yeah,
and this guy was
yeah,
selling the model from
that's
Red
massive, man.
October.
That's massive. So Cobra, Charlie, we brought this up because, like I said, it was one of the ones that wasn't. It's not necessarily the first one that pops to your mind.
No.
It was a little grittier, and like I said, it was cool because it was one that I hadn't seen in a long time and remembered liking it more than maybe the first Rambo or something. To me, it was like, oh yeah, this is a little bit more 80s action, because when I
Yeah.
think 80s action, a lot of times I think of these buddy cops and blowing stuff up and these super cops and stuff, and that's what this is.
This really is. I mean, there is a buddy cop element. There is the super cop element. You get every single trope that could possibly be
You
in.
really do. It feels like they shoehorn them in sometimes
They
even, but
do.
yeah.
And that, I guess that's a good segue into the next thing, that Cobra is only around because Stallone was originally cast to be in Beverly Hills Cop. So
Yeah.
he was the first guy they picked.
Well, that's a hell
And
of a different movie, isn't it?
oh my God. So Stallone, like I mentioned, was working on the screenplay for Beverly Hills Cop. And due to the amount of action and the way it was written, it was well outside. I think, is it Paramount that maybe did Beverly Hills Cop? So it was out of their
Yeah.
budget. They said we can't do that. So Stallone stepped out of the cast for Beverly Hills Cop and took his screenplay with him. So obviously we got the beloved Axel Foley in Beverly Hills
Did,
Cop.
did Bruckheimer do the first one? I know he did the second one.
I don't think Bruckheimer did the first Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay, I know he did the second one.
Yeah,
I'll have to look that up here in a second.
but so we got Cobra because it was too dark and gritty for what they wanted a Beverly Hills Cop. So we get two great movies out of one decision on a screenplay. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's even more funny that, so I know you watched Beverly Hills Cop this week because
Hmm.
you were just messaging me going, I just want to watch something, but I don't want to watch Cobra yet. So you watched Beverly Hills Cop. So I threw it in because obviously it has ties to Cobra. So therefore I watched Beverly Hills Cop 2 today. And they don't hide the fact that Beverly Hills Cop was almost Cobra. There's a Cobra movie poster in
Yeah.
Rosewood's apartment. Rosewood's wearing like a trench coat and has every gun imaginable at the end of it. They make so many, they even make a joke about Rambo, just putting these little jabs at Stallone in the whole movie. And I was just tickled watching that. I was like, this is great. So I've triple prepared for this movie. I watched Cobra, Beverly Hills Cop, and Beverly Hills Cop 2, and they all are cohesive to each other for one reason or another.
Sheesh. Looking it up, it looks like the Don Simpson slash Jerry Bruckheimer films is Beverly Hills Cop. The first one is also listed under that.
Really?
Yeah.
I have never looked it up then, I
So
guess.
yeah, that Bad Boys 2, The Rock, Top Gun, all kinds of cool stuff. So
Somebody shared the trailer. I think we just had the anniversary of Bad Boys or something. There's
hmm
a page
the
that
first one, I think. Yeah.
gets shared in the group. I didn't realize it was 1995 when that movie came out.
Yeah, we're old, bro.
95.
Yeah, we're old. I
I
told you
know.
that.
I know.
Hey, speaking of things that could have, should have, would have been with these movies, there was a particular song originally written for
Yes.
Cobra.
Yes, there
It
was.
wasn't used. Uh, Stallone wanted to go a different direction,
He had a he
and
had a favorite band, and I wrote the band's name down, but I'm gonna say the band's name after you say, the guy you're talking about.
yeah. So the guy that they got to do the original song for this is a guy named Stan Bush. Now, if you don't know who Stan Bush is, first of all, I don't know if you're listening to the right podcast or that you're old enough, but more or less, Stan Bush was pretty famous for writing some epic 80s movies and music, rather,
Music.
for movies, including this one.
You got the touch.
Okay, that's probably all we can play before Stan Bush comes after us, I think.
I want a cease and desist from Stan Bush, sir.
Yeah, I'll frame it and put it right here on the wall. I don't care.
We talked about
But yeah,
Stan Bush a few episodes ago.
yeah. The song "The Touch," of course, from Transformers the movie,
Yep.
was originally made for Cobra.
It was written and
Again,
recorded for Cobra.
how much different could have Cobra or Beverly Hills Cop or even Transformers the movie now at this point? They're all three interconnected with these kind of things. How different could those movies have been? How different was our childhood going to be
I have to
if things were,
say,
flipped
had
around a little bit?
had the touch been played for Cobra, it would have been as forgotten as the band that was recorded for Cobra, which was none other than Stallone's favorite band at the time, The John Cafferty and Beaver Brown Band.
Okay, so they also did the song On the Dark Side for Eddie and the Cruisers.
Yeah.
They were also a favorite of Emperor Palpatine. If you ever watched Robot Chicken,
Yeah,
Star Wars,
the Robot Chicken makes it pretty good.
yeah, Beaver Brown.
So they beat out Stan Bush, but I mean, I think The Touch would have been lost to time, except for anyone watching that. And then, what song would have ever been as iconic for the Transformers movie?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Transformers has two iconic songs besides the Transformers,
Yeah,
song.
the actual intro.
But there's two iconic songs. One is Weird Al's "Dare to Be Stupid,"
Mhm.
and the other is "The Touch."
Yeah.
They re-released Transformers movie in theaters 3 years ago?
That's
4 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago.
Right, and I went and saw it with a buddy of mine, and at the end, they had a whole retrospective, like a 20-minute retrospective on Stan doing The Touch.
Yeah.
So it's like it's as iconic as the movie itself, because okay, if you haven't seen Transformers the movie, you need to watch it,
Yeah.
because you're going to really get what we're talking about with this. It's hard to believe that just one song transcends this movie. Like, all you had to hear was this. That's all you had to hear, and you know exactly it's The Touch. It's Transformers the movie. It is an equivalent to Danger Zone.
Danger Zone, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Those movies that
Back to the Future.
Those songs that you can't hear without picturing the movie in your head.
Ghostbusters. I mean, yeah, it's one of those iconic songs. So if it would have been played on Cobra, it would have been lost. If current me could go back in time and they changed that, I would tell them to not to, because that would be heartbreaking, man. That would have been freaking heartbreaking.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe you were sitting there in Stallone's ear going, "Hey man, what about the Beaver Brown Band?"
Yeah,
I think they're a little bit better.
I think I would have told him Bruce Hornsby in the range or something, but I think he would have punched me if I was hanging out with him anyway. So
I don't think you would have been hanging out with him according to the rest of the cast.
Who's this fat guy over talking to me about the Beaver Brown Band? And by the way, who in the hell's favorite? Why is the Beaver Brown Band anyone's favorite band?
I have no idea. I can't answer that one.
I got nothing, man. It's pretty wackadoo. All right, man. You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to take a break.
You feeling breakage?
Let's take.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and I'm gonna play a minute commercial. If you guys have been listening to the last few episodes, you know what's coming.
You know.
So stick around. Yeah, you know who it is. So stick around. We're going to come back. We're going to get into specifics of the movie. We're going to play some little dialogue clips, as we always do. Don't tell Canon, because they'll probably come after us.
There's no more Canon anymore. We're fine.
Oh, good. Well, that'll teach them. All right, so everyone chill out. We'll be back in a minute. Thanks for listening to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. See you in a minute.
We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, me again. I just wanted to let you know real quick that I also co-host another podcast, a weekly podcast called the Noka News Network.
I'm Ricky. I also co-host the Noka News Network podcast with you, Dan.
I know you snuck in here on this one, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Everyone, we appreciate everybody listening to Give Me Back My Action Movies, obviously. But if you'd like to listen to news that no one cares about, then check us out at Noka News Network. Ricky, where can they find us?
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. Or iTunes Podcasts.
Whatever it's called.
However that works.
And you can check us out on Facebook as well. And you can always email us over at newsroom@nokanews.com. And check us out over there. We're having a good time, Ricky.
That's true. We're posting the podcast to our YouTube channel, too. So if you'd rather watch it that way, it's over there. Just search Noka News Network.
And enjoy the news that no one cares about.
It's a good time. I promise. All right, everybody. Thank you for indulging my more insane side with that commercial. But welcome back
to the Give Me Back My Action Movies podcast. Charlie,
Yes.
what's your? I have to ask, like I don't know.
Go
What's
ahead.
your favorite segment from Noka? You
Oh,
know?
my favorite segment from Noka. Let's see.
Yeah,
The metal news.
yeah.
I love metal
I
news.
just I just wanted you to say it.
No, I'll say
All
it.
right, folks. I just wanted to gratuitously pat myself on the back for something else. That's
How much am I getting paid
all.
for that bit?
Okay, so Cobra.
Don't you gloss over
Cobra.
me.
Nothing. All right, so Cobra and Brigitte Okay, Stallone and Brigitte Nelson. This was kind of the start of that relationship
I
that they had.
guess this is the first one
I
where
think
it
so,
started,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So Brigitte Nelson, she went from Stallone to Flavor Flav. I mean, you talk about ends of the spectrum, bro.
Dude, I mean, if you want to break it down a little bit more, she went from like Schwarzenegger to Stallone to Dolph and to all these guys along the action movie,
And then to Flavor
spectrum.
Flav.
Then to Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
And is still a
So
mountain of a woman, and was also in Beverly Hills Cop 2 that I just watched today.
yeah,
She's
if
one of the bad guys in it.
watch that, Axel has a particular assessment of her size.
Yeah, it's
So
hilarious.
Cobra starts off with a member of this new world revolution or this new world murder cult, whatever they're calling themselves.
Yeah.
By the way, they got that cool tattoo with the skull and the crossed axes.
I do like the tattoo. The imagery is pretty badass in this. It
Yeah, they do
really
this
is.
thing where they're in the sewers with the axes and they're ticking them together. Tink, 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 tink. It's
That
kind of a
got
cool bit.
monotonous after a while, though,
Yeah,
especially
but
in that
I
first
would like to
segment.
think on purpose because it kind of grated on your nerves.
It that they achieved that, I
Yeah,
guess.
that they did. So anyway, a member of this group goes to a grocery store during Christmas. This is not a Christmas movie. We're not going to argue that. But it's definitely during Christmas because there's trees and stuff up. All right. So the beginning of the movie, he's going to a supermarket because that's where they they have this, I don't know, soldier. He calls himself a hunter for this murder cult, and
Yeah.
he's at the grocery store, and he's there because he wants to get on TV. He wants to throw the rhetoric around or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the captain and everyone's out there, and they can't talk him down. So they give me the Cobra, get the Cobra,
Yeah.
and that really kind of sets the tone and shows you what they really kind of feel, how they feel about the Cobra.
Yeah, he's kinda like the nuclear option.
He's like their last bottom line of defense type of thing.
Yeah.
And so they call him, and of course the awesome 50 shows up, and he gets out looking like a complete, rock star
Oh,
badass, essentially.
the
Um,
tag even says awesome 50 on
awesome 50. Now I did read somewhere that he got the name the Zombie Squad because there was a real European law enforcement country,
Yeah.
uh Denmark, maybe, I can't remember now off the top of my head, but they had a zombie squad that would go out in the middle of the night and deal with criminals that were just over the top, and
Yeah.
that's what they dealt
The
with them
s
by any
the
means
scum of
necessary.
scum. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
and that was Cobretti's job. That's Cobra's job. So he
and that's how
comes in
they
there.
yeah, that's how they pretty much do this in that movie. I mean,
Yeah, it really is. And so he shows up and he goes into this grocery store, and this is after I only saw one dead body in the entire grocery store. This guy killed one kid. He shot
yeah,
him in the back with a shotgun. That's
so
it.
it's just chaos. He's shooting at the displays.
He's blowing the
He's
hell out of some meat and some dairy
he's
products.
shooting everything but the people,
Yeah,
and
yeah. He just wants the attention.
then he gets everyone gathered in, and he's wanting the news cameras.
Mhm.
"Give me the news cameras, give me the news cameras," and they get the Cobra in, and he kinda sneaks in, gets around the back, and the guy
Couple really good parts in this.
yeah, and the
Really.
guy just picks out this random young guy, this young kid, and says, "You can leave, you're free." And so, the guy's kinda like, "I don't know what the heck's going on," and he gets up and slowly walks away, then tries to run, and the guy blows him away with the shotgun out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand that part. That
No,
part
that
was
was a
odd to
little
me.
it was a little weird. So Cobra shows up finally, and he sees him in the store. He knows he's there and he's running around, and um Cobra, it's kind of like I said, he's the badass, right? So he pokes his head around the corner, grabs a big beer, cracks it open, takes a big couple swigs out of it, and then throws it at the guy, shotguns it.
Can I say something about the product placement in this flippin' movie?
Yeah, because being from that era, I had a blast just seeing this stuff on the shelves in the store.
The old school Pepsi display that had the cup was pouring out Pepsi and it was like the
Yep.
spiral of brown.
Uh-huh.
And right next to it was the Coors beer that Cobra just picks one up, cracks it open, drinks it, and throws the rest to distract
Yeah,
the guy.
it was pretty hilarious.
It's
I love that
so
part too.
80s. It's
Yeah.
so 80s.
He finally gets on the overhead, clean up on aisle 9
The
kind of
PA.
microphone. Yeah. And he tells the guy, he's like, "You wasted a kid for no reason. You're a horrible shot.
Yeah.
We're going to end this." And he pops out of nowhere on the guy, and the guy turns around. And he's like, and he pulls his gun on him. And the dude's like, "Drop the gun. I got a bomb. I'm going to blow it up." And I wish I didn't have a clip for it, but Stallone looks at him and goes, "Go ahead. I don't shop here."
Yeah.
It's classic 80s like one line thing.
It's like, go
So
ahead. I
good.
don't shop here. I was
Yeah,
like,
so good.
there you go.
And he takes him out, essentially, takes him out with extreme prejudice. But as he's talking to this guy, um, he's got this line, and it's. Would you say it's the most famous line of the movie?
100%.
Okay.
This is probably the line I bet people quote this line and don't even realize it's actually from this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Here it is.
I'm a hero of the new world.
You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
You're the disease, and I'm the cure.
That's
That's
such
a
a
pretty good
cold
line, man.
that's a cold line. That is honestly, if it hadn't have been like so many syllables, it could have been a catchphrase for him like Arnold's "I'll be back"
Yeah.
if it hadn't have been. And I guess in the movie, we didn't talk about this in the beginning, but this movie was like over 2 hours long originally.
Yeah. They had to
They
cut it.
cut 40 minutes out. It achieved an X rating because of the amount of violence, not anything about nudity or anything. It
No,
got an
it's all
X
violent.
rating on violence. And in my research, there is actually a copy floating around of very poor quality, but there is a full cut of this movie that I think I'm on a hunt now to
Yeah.
try and find.
You need to see if either you or Sludge can try to dredge that up
Yeah.
somewhere, or maybe even Pete.
But I bring that up because he actually was supposed to say that line again at the climax of the movie when he faces off with the night slasher, which kind of makes sense. Although I think the ending works out pretty good too.
Yeah,
The way they
there's
shortened it up.
absolutely the he takes this guy out, and as he's leaving, he's got all the reporters in his face, and they
I
give
love
him.
this part.
I do too. It's really kind of exemplifies why Cobra does what he does.
Yeah.
And the guy's in his face, and he's like, "Did you take him out? Did you use unnecessary violence, unnecessary force, or whatever?" And he grabs the reporter, and the corpse of the dead kid. It just happens to be there, and he pulls back the sheet. He throws the reporter's face down there. And he goes, "You tell that to his family,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. And that really kind of, to me, it echoed back to the Die Hard line of, you know, talking about blowing up the whole building or whatever, and the kid's like,
Yeah.
"Screw you, Mister."
Well, yeah, you've got all these.
Was that Die Hard? It was Where did he? What was that one when
Oh,
he
that was
rescued the girl?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yeah, and he
Yeah.
says the whole thing. Well, Die Hard, they go to the family and
Well, you
punches him
kind
in
of
the
had that
face and everything.
same reporter thing. Now, there's a part of this that I absolutely love, and it's a tiny foreshadow for a Stallone fan. That one of the I think it's even the same reporter we're talking about. He goes, "What makes you judge an executioner?" And you're
Mhm.
just like, "Oh, he's
Yeah,
gonna play Judge Dredd later on." And
yeah,
it's
right,
just
right.
this whole what makes you judge an executioner, and I smile every time I hear that because
Yeah,
Stallone was Judge Dredd.
yeah. Who, again, if you don't know, he's also the executioner.
Judge
Um,
and executioner.
executioner,
And jury.
exactly.
Judge,
Yeah,
jury, and executioner.
yeah, Judge Judy and Executioner, right?
There you
Exactly.
go. I just love
So
that. I love it every time I see that part pop up.
yeah, that is really cool because you're like, especially when you go back and watch these movies again, which is probably my favorite part of this podcast is going back and watching these again, especially this one 'cause I hadn't seen it in so long. Um, so all of that was really cool, and that really kind of sets the tone, the character tone of who Cobra is.
Yeah.
Um, then you have the whole thing with Brigitte Nelson seeing the slasher and the lady cop doing all this stuff, and they go to track her down. And then in the most 80s thing in the whole movie,
Oh my god.
she's doing this photo shoot to 80s music. And she's basically trying to hump robots or something. I don't know what's going on with it. There's a ton of these really bad 80s chrome robots,
Yeah.
and she's running around in a bathing suit and loving on them and everything else. It's super
Well,
80s.
it is a straight up 80s model shoot. She's in a
Oh
leisure,
yeah.
she's in like a business outfit, then she's in like a leisure, then she's in lingerie,
She's in
and
like swimsuit, I think, or something.
she's rubbing up on these robots made out of God knows what
She
of
basically has the
junk.
same hair she had in Beverly Hills Cop 2 at one time.
Yes,
That blonde half wig
the blonde half
thing.
wig.
Yeah.
And it's funny, that is her actual hair, and the hair you see her with the rest of the movie is a wig. So that curly kind of hair she has throughout, that is
When she
not her
looks
real
normal.
hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not her real hair.
And that's movie magic for you.
She is a statuesque person.
She is a very, again, Axel describes her
Yeah,
size
perfectly
probably the best. Yeah.
in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Uh,
And I have to imagine that there was some camera trickery when there was actual side by side shots with her and Stallone,
because I
because
don't think
Stallone is
Stallone's that tall.
I can't imagine he's very tall. I know they had to do that with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies.
Okay.
Um, and I know Stallone is not that much taller than
Then
than
Nelson.
Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Schwarzenegger.
gotcha.
Oh, here he is.
Yeah.
He's 5'9.5".
Okay, so we're taller than him. I mean, you're Drago tall, but
Yeah, I'm
I'm
Drago
taller than
tall.
Rocky. Yeah, you ain't nothing, Rock. So, so
That's just mean.
yeah, yeah, you ain't nothing, Rock. Get the hell out of here. So as the Night Slasher's trying to get to, and we didn't even talk about the Night Slasher played, um,
Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson. I know him mostly from two different movies. One, Lionheart, because
Yes.
like he's the hired muscle for the chicken Lionheart,
Yep.
and Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat movie. He is the dude with the skull mask, the main Mortal Kombat guy at the end.
It's
King
well at
the
the end, but didn't he play it in Annihilation more? He
Yeah,
was
oh
the
yeah,
main
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he was in Annihilation more, but I think he just does like that
Sh-
quick
Shao Kahn.
whatever. Yeah, Shao Kahn. Yeah, I think he just does like a quick whatever in
I
Mortal
don't know if
Kombat.
that
But
was
yeah,
him in the first one, but yeah, he's
actually, it
playing
may
that
not
same.
have been.
He's playing that role. He's Shao Kahn in there.
Yeah, in the
He's
second.
also probably, to a lot of people that don't watch action movies, he was one of the one of the characters in the X Files.
Yeah, he's creepy and scary looking. I can see that.
Yeah, here it is. That he was the alien bounty hunter
Yeah.
in 9
Okay.
episodes. So
Sure.
he has that face. And dude's
Yeah.
cut. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah. He's
just
a
as cut as
monster.
Stallone in this movie.
You know,
Um
the thing I mentioned to you about this movie, for some reason, he's always sweating. He's always super wet.
I couldn't explain that. Now, other than we know it's in December, so I don't know how hot LA gets, but they're in a sewer, so I'm just maybe it's a little damp,
I think he's
but
got hypertension. I think he's got a blood pressure issue.
dude was always wet.
Always sweaty. So Battery was a pro wrestler. He was always sweaty though. Always
Eh,
wet hair, beaded sweat on his forehead. Um, but he's trying to come after her essentially. So like, we got to have her protected by Cobra and stuff. But now we've got Cobra established. We got
yep,
Ingrid established. We got the Night Stalker established. Kind of now we have to get into Cobra's um
partner.
partner Gonzalez, the person that he cares about pretty much the most in the world, it seems like.
Well, yeah,
And
it's kind of like Cobra doesn't have family or something, very
Right.
close. So Gonzalez is like the brother or something like the typical buddy cop kind
Yeah.
of scenario.
And Gonzalez is a little bit more of a train wreck, whereas Cobra's put together, sorta. Like he talks about health food, even though he eats. All right, okay, we got to talk about this. After the supermarket thing, he goes home. He grabs out a pizza box and a carton of eggs. The carton of eggs has got his
His gun
gun
cleaning
cleaning
kit.
kit in it. And he's got a piece of pizza in there. He cuts a snip off with scissors and eats that snip and throws the rest of the pizza back in the box. I never understood what the holy hell that was supposed to be.
That was his cheat day, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's also right when you get the Toys R Us Christmas
Yeah,
commercial because he's
yeah.
watching television at
Well,
the same time.
before that, as he pulls up though, he's got a bunch of Hispanic LA folks out there in their car
Yeah.
parked in his spot, and he has to have a talk with them.
It's bad for your health, you know?
What is pinche? Yeah, it's
Me. Clean up your act.
You know, so he basically bumps their car out of the way. They yell at him, and he's like, "Again, I'm a badass. Get out of my face."
Yeah, so they're like
Later on, he comes to park to the house, and they just move for him.
yeah, they're like half parked in his parking spot apparently, and he uses the Merc to push their like 64 Impala
Which
and just
I wouldn't have done that with that
the
car.
bumper to bumper shoves it, and this guy gets out trying to act all hard, and he just like grabs him by the shirt and rips it. And this is a scene. Apparently, it's a goof, but when he rips that dude's shirt off, he's got a microphone taped to his chest.
Does he? I never noticed that.
So watching this movie so many years before, I'm like, is this guy like an undercover informant and Stallone just got pissed off at him and ripped his shirt? Well, it turns out it's a goof. That was the mic to pick up the guy's dialogue for the movie.
Instead
They
of
just
doing a
went
boom,
with it. Yeah,
instead of doing a boom mic, they just did that.
well,
That
it's a wide shot. So there wasn't really a way, if you think about it on that street, that you could have done a
makes
boom.
sense. Yeah,
So his mic becomes visible right after he rips his shirt, and they just left it in the movie.
they just let it go.
So I always thought he was a UC, an undercover, narc or something.
It's so wild. But so he and Gonzalez start talking. So Cobra is supposed to be a health food nut, but he eats half a piece of pizza. I don't know. So maybe that's why he's a health food nut. He only ate half a piece of pizza or whatever.
Oh no, he's always riding Gonzalez about the crap food he
Yeah,
eats.
he's always about. He tells him he's too violent, and Gonzalez is like, "Me, he goes, it's all the sugar you eat." You know,
I love
it's
that.
a lot of really good stuff there. But Cobra, even though he's hard edged, he's still got a sense of humor to him. So when he's in getting grilled by the captain and another detective and the chief's there and stuff, and the other detective is giving him crap about. It came out that she saw the slasher's face, drew a little picture,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh wow, you've got a copy of that?" And he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Well, why in the hell didn't you tell us?" And this will give you this a little snippet of kind of like the sense of humor.
You didn't say the magic word.
What magic word?
Please.
Yo, Freddy, do you know you have an attitude problem?
Yeah, but it's just a little one.
You know, I love that line. Like when I heard that line again watching this, I went, "Oh, that's right. I love that line." I remember it being hilarious, and I didn't remember it because it'd been so long. But once I heard it, like kind of the memory kind of flooded back to me. Like, oh man, I remember that was hilarious.
And again, it's just that whole trope of the chief always
Yep.
yelling at the underlings. You've got your yes man, just kind of parroting everything the
Yep.
chief says. And,
Yep.
Stallone just plays it 100% cool in this movie. Even Gonzalez makes a joke like, I just really want to punch that guy straight in the gut. It's just funny.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
when Stallone's like, "You're just too violent," you know.
yeah,
It's
that's when
just
he does you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
really
the violent
violent.
bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. But you know, when they take Brigitte Nelson and they take her upstate, um, she starts talking to Gonzalez a little bit, and Gonzalez kind of opens up about how Cobra's he's I know he's like this super hard badass, but he's also a human being type of thing. Talks to her and tells her his real name is Marion,
Yeah.
and she goes and talks to him about it, and they have a kind of a I don't know what a soft moment. about this?
It's that bond moment, I guess, you needed to have, where they get a little personable. It's to a point now we have to care about the characters.
Yeah. So here's I like to equate it to the Burt Reynolds Sally Field in the park scene,
Mm.
kind of when they're being human.
Well, I always wanted to have a tougher one myself. Something a little harder name.
Like what?
Alice.
So he shows that Cobra's got a sense of humor about things, and I would say he's probably got to have one, to do what he does, what his line of work entails, as far as being Zombie Squad. He's got to have kind of a sense of humor, or he'd probably lose his mind, man.
And I like that line too, where they talk about the first name because we just had a discussion about this in the group where we're kind of poking fun at. It was like name your top 5
Yeah, yeah.
action characters, and I don't know why it happened, but we all just started naming off any character that was named John,
There's a
John
lot of
Rambo,
Johns.
John May. Well, because of that actual trope, they didn't want it to be like John Cobra. They went the complete opposite and went with Marion, obviously for the John Wayne end, but they just wanted to break that kind of cycle of everything was named, every action guy was John just about back in the
And,
80s and
and who are
90s.
the big Stallone Johns?
Oh, well, you got John Rambo, John Spartan, which is Demolition Man. Everybody was doing John Matrix, which was
Conan
Schwarzenegger.
or Commando.
Commando. Then we did John McClane, obviously for Die Hard. And I just started going, I don't know, maybe Dutch's first name from Predator was John, which it's not. It was Alan Schaefer, but everybody got the joke. We were having fun with it in the group. And it's
That
just
was
everyone, they were doing John Wick. Johnny Mnemonic was another one we were throwing
Yeah,
out
that was
there.
pretty good. That was a good one.
So, no,
Was
it's
was there
funny.
a John in, like, I don't know, Maximum Overdrive somewhere or something?
Joey was Pat.
Was Amelia Estevez his name Johnny?
No, it was
It was something generic.
they called him Bubba most of the movie, but he had another name. I can't remember off
Yeah,
the top of my
something
head.
something generic, I'm sure.
But
Um,
yeah,
so they go through, they find out that this female cop is now associated with them.
yeah, she
They're,
sets them up. I mean,
oh
pretty
yeah,
hard. They're at a
oh
hotel
yeah,
or motel, and
yeah. They don't have continental breakfast at this place, bro.
it's like this small town, and this is a very like Mad Max feel to this scene. It's just this huge motorcycle gang of the Night Stalkers or whatever you want to call them
Hmm.
roll into town with shotguns, automatic weapons, and
Well,
there's probably
he whips out a machine gun at this point. He
well,
builds a
he
machine
whips
gun
out
there.
his duffel bag's an arsenal. He pulls out grenades.
Hmm.
He's got the laser mounted machine gun, and
I know. I love how all the badass guns had laser sights on them back in the '80s, and they were huge.
oh yeah, Riggs got one in what Lethal Weapon 2,
Yeah, the
and he
size of a
kept
mag light.
playing around with them. Well, Cobra's laser light's like the length of the gun.
Hmm.
It's just kind of silliness, but I guess that's the technology back then. But one thing I always found hilarious, and I was watching it last night, going, "Yeah, this is right." Cobra never misses a shot.
No,
Every
man,
time he pulls the trigger, a guy dies.
that's classic '80s super cop thing.
Well, I
Although,
guess it
but
is, but
but in reality, though, when I sit back and thought about that and saw that, I thought to myself as I was watching it, going, because there's a scene where they're escaping after all hell breaks loose at the hotel, and Gonzalez gets hurt and taken
yeah,
down and stuff. Brigitte Nelson's taken off in a pickup truck.
mhm.
Cobra's standing in the back of it, and he's gunning down all these bad dudes, and holding the machine gun sideways at his waist. So he's not hitting.
Oh yeah, he's hip firing and still hitting
Yeah,
everyone.
on motorcycles, doing
Yes,
70 backwards.
yes,
So I'm watching this going, if there was any backstory to this, because this is based on a book.
yeah,
It's a book by Paula Gosling. It's a novel,
yeah,
so maybe this answers the question. But I'm thinking to myself, like, Cobra's got to be some type of military trained
hmm
something. I mean, obviously, I'm suspending disbelief here, but to be able to shoot like that, do all this stuff, he's got to be some type of military trained
Yeah.
personnel that now is
Yeah,
out and being a cop.
they don't really dig into that, and
No,
don't leave people hanging. The book was called Fair Game, and if that name's
yes,
familiar, there was an actual movie that was
I
done
actually
more
forgot that.
based. It's more based on the book, and it was one of the Baldwins and Cindy Crawford.
Yeah, there's like 193 Baldwins.
Yeah, I don't know which one it
There's a
was.
couple of them that are pretty good.
If it ain't the Shadow, I don't really care. I don't.
No, Billy,
Or
well,
the
yeah,
one from Firefly.
Billy, Alec, Steven, Huey, Louie, Dewey, Dasher,
Larry, Curly, and
Prancer.
Moe.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. So anyway, they go up there and they finally get to this whole the final fight. The final fight again, like you said, it's all really 80s action trope. The final
Oh
fight
my god,
occurs in a smelting facility, a la Terminator.
dude!
So it's all fire and sparks and industrial fight area. It's I'm watching it going, okay, I loved this movie when I was a kid. I'm watching it now going, I like the gritty feel of it, but come on, guys, really? This is what we're doing? This is very
Everything was on
stereotypical.
fire. Like
A lot of fire in this movie.
OSHA would have had a heyday in this. So I guess they kind of play it up when they shoot the security guard when the girl's chasing Ingrid,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and it hits this control board in like 5 places. Well, apparently that control board controlled the smelter, the welder, the lava river that runs through the middle of the plant with no guardrail,
The
uh,
crane.
the
Well,
crane that goes
Charlie,
through blowtorches.
they do talk that they don't want to build a rail because they'd be leaning the entire time.
That's true. They
Yeah.
said we'd be leaning all day.
I'm
But
leaning, right?
there is a literal river of lava, molten metal, go ahead, whatever, flowing through this place along the floor. And then there's a giant machine that's just creating a shower of sparks continuously. It doesn't stop.
And at one time, they walked through a hallway of flame spouts, like the end of a blowtorch or flamethrower.
Yeah. Well,
What the
then
hell? It was
one
as dumb
guy,
as Obi-Wan trying to run through one after Qui-Gon
oh,
and
Darth Maul,
Darth
yeah,
Maul. What the hell are you
the
doing,
Duel of the
guys?
Fates.
Yeah, what's the
But
purpose of this?
there's a whole scene where like one of the bad guys is walking down this hallway and Cobra's hiding around the corner and looks around and goes, "Oh," and turns this random valve
Yeah.
and flame jumps up on this dude exactly where he's standing and burns him to a crisp.
Yeah, he just happened to know where that dial was. And you're just like, look, I get it. It's an 80s action flick. I've got to suspend my disbelief here, but
Oh,
come
I
on,
do,
boys.
but you're like, did you trace that with your eye? And you're like, okay, that is the gas that goes over to this diverter. And then he
Yeah.
dumps the most flammable liquid possible on a guy from overhead. There is an open flame behind the guy that doesn't ignite him, but Stallone gets to flick a match off of the hilt of his
He's
gun.
always chewing on a match.
He's always got a
Yeah.
match, and he flicks it off the edge of his gun and flicks it down on the guy, and he bursts into flames, all while the fire is in the background of this guy while he's doused in flammable liquid.
Yeah, I'm watching this, and Cobra's on the catwalk walking around, and I see this bucket, and on the side of it, it's the biggest words "flammable" across it, and I'm going,
No lid on the bucket.
no lid on the damn thing, and I went, okay, you're in a building that is 99% fire, and you have a bucket that says "flammable" on a catwalk with no lid on it. What the hell is it? This is the absolute worst safety violation OSHA crap. I almost paused the movie and called OSHA and reported this movie just so they could come shut it down.
This was
It was
straight canon
ridiculous.
right here.
I watched it and went, well, that's getting poured on somebody and set on fire. There it is. There it is.
Oh, you mean like the foreshadowing of the giant hook that just kind of grows into the background half a dozen times
Yeah, they got
along
this hook.
this pulley?
This hook keeps coming through the background like Tommy Boy, right? Where he's fighting the hook thing, and it just keeps going through the background of this factory and stuff. And I'm watching. By the way, that a 55-gallon drum of water from that height would have knocked that guy down when it hit him.
It would have killed him because I
A
know what a
a
gallon.
gallon of water from a second story will almost knock a grown 6-foot plus man out.
I can
I don't,
confirm that.
yeah, I saw it on the internet. So
Yeah, yeah.
the crane comes by. So okay, they
Go ahead and get
shoot.
into the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, they shoot the lady cop. Think they take her out. She shows up at the end, and they have to fight again and whatever.
Well, Night Slasher ends up shooting her because she
Yeah.
jumps on Stallone's back.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
So that all happens. So there's a couple really good lines that happen back and forth here between Cobra and the Slasher, because the Slasher really believes the rhetoric that he is a hunter. He is there to call the weak as the new
Yeah.
world order takes place and stuff.
It's a straight up cult.
Yeah, so here's yeah, it's real Jim Jonesy. So here's the one line.
You can't stop the new world. Your filthy society will never get rid of people like us. It's breeding them. We are the future.
No! Your history.
So at that point, he gets ready to shoot him with a shotgun, and then the crazy cop lady jumps on his back.
Yeah.
He drops the shotgun. So there, of course, now he's got to fight him. Because it's a classic 80s flick. So as he's getting ready to fight the Night Slasher is like, oh, okay, well, you're a cop and I'm a maniac, so I'm just going to use this technique to get you to lower your guard so I can get you.
Court is civilized, isn't it, pig?
But I'm not. This is where the law stops. And I start.
That line's hard as hell, dude.
It is. He's like goading him into like, you can't kill me. You have to arrest me. You're the law. You have to do this. And this is that whole zombie squad kind of feel we get that Stallone's just done. He's like, you're going to die and you're not walking out of here. Yeah, no, it's pretty hard line.
So those two start scrapping a la Matrix and Bennett style and Commando.
It really was.
I know, right? So they start scrapping. The Night Stalker obviously has his Billy Badass knife.
Yeah.
And Stallone gets a chain and he starts swinging back and forth a la Bad Dudes.
It is a pretty cool fight, though, to be honest.
It's pretty good. It's
no
pretty good.
Guns. So they didn't want to do the quick shoot him and he's dead.
Nope.
And I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, the thing I noticed though, as they're fighting and the slasher's about to push him in the river of lava that just conveniently happens to be in the floor. He's got the knife, and it's a really cool scene actually. He's got the spikes and he's getting to drive him right into Cobretti's like eyes, basically, right at the bridge of his nose. And it's a cool looking scene. And Cobretti's like, ah, and he's got him with both hands, pushing his hand away from him. And I'm sitting there watching it going, why didn't the slasher use his free hand to just punch him in the face or punch him in the nards or, I don't know, put a finger in his nose or do something? He's got a free hand. You've got one hand on the knife. Cobretti's got his both hands on your knife hand. Where's the slasher's other hand? What's he doing? Waving, scratching his butt. What's going on here?
Holding himself up from the river of lava that's only a foot away from their heads that would have scalded the skin off of them for just being that close.
Dude, lame. It didn't scald the back of Cobra's head off, and he was closer.
Yeah, he was like 6 inches away from the river of lava.
I mean, at least then we had an excuse for the slasher to be wet. You know,
yeah, that whole thing
he's
was
in a building
hot
full of fire, so that makes sense.
And sweaty. That made more sense that way.
So they fight. He ends up starting to body shot the Night Slasher there until he's about to go down. Hangs him up on this hook.
Oh, he picks him up like just
yeah. First of all, come on, dude. Brian's a big boy. You're gonna think
Brian's a monster of a dude.
Yeah, so he hangs him on this hook though, and that's probably the best part. I should have got a sound clip where he hangs him up there and basically he's and he's screaming, and like I'm watching it going, did he really hang him on this hook? Because that sounded like that hurt like hell.
It's a blunt, large hunk of metal hook. Like to punch that through flesh would have taken some effort. It's not like it didn't come to a point.
No, it was pretty blunted.
It was like 1.5 inch thick steel and like, I don't know, 3 foot by 4 foot. That's how big and ridiculous this thing was.
All I know is he probably dropped it right on his pre-made puncture wound. there below the belt or something, because
Well, he hooks him
that's
in the
probably,
shoulder.
dude, that's the sound I would have been making though if you'd have hooked me on that thing, dude. That was probably the best acting in the whole movie. I gotta admit, that was probably him screaming.
No,
And essentially, he's trying to get off this thing, and he goes through yet another elevated tunnel of flames at this point.
yeah, it's like this Stargate looking thing that has like 12 different blowtorches.
Kurt Russell's trying to figure out where the hell he's going. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
trying to figure out what's the next symbol. And this hook just goes right through it with him, and he burns him while he's hanging on the hook. It's
Yeah,
pretty
so
spectacular. I mean, a little bit better than the
it looked
diehard
cool.
dude breaking his neck.
Yeah,
But
no, it definitely looked cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's like
this movie gets style points. I mean, there's a lot that, again,
visually, yes,
I
it
think
was
this is
almost grindhousey, wasn't it?
it really was. I think that's the Stallone flavor we got in this. You
Yeah.
know, it
So,
is just
so
good.
he beats them. He sees Brigitte. He's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, cool."
Yeah, she
So they
just
go,
casually walks
yeah,
down the steps wearing
Turner
heels.
Jordache, she's chill, yeah.
Yeah,
So they walk out, and at this point, all the California the California
yeah,
Highway
those guys.
Patrol, yeah, the Chips, Ponch, and Baker are there, and everyone else showed up. The captain's there now in a helicopter that flew up from LA, evidently, and they're talking about the whole thing and this, that, and the other. And they go to Gonzalez, who's now in the back of an ambulance, getting ready to take him down to the
Yeah, we
hospital.
were unsure if he was dead or
Right.
alive at the big fight,
That
and
was kind of a
now
cool twist, actually.
so they didn't walk back into the town. They were still at the warehouse. So did they drive Gonzalez to the warehouse to say goodbye to Cobretti while they
My
load
answer,
him into the ambulance?
my answer is 1986, sir.
You're not wrong, but I mean, there was a lengthy truck chase
Yes.
away from the town, and now they leave the warehouse and Gonzalez is getting loaded up. Did he like hobble his way trying to finish the fight?
Maybe actually he did get a
Let's
car and
do
drove
that.
out there.
Let's say
Here,
he picked
you're
up one of
welcome.
the
You're welcome, Cannon. We finished your movie for you.
he picked up one of the 30 motorcycles and rode it out there bleeding out from like 2 gunshot wounds.
Well, hell, dude,
And
there's 40 extra minutes out there somewhere. Maybe he did.
that's true. Maybe there's more to this in the
All
other
right,
cut.
now we gotta find the crap cut of this and watch it.
I
The
gotta
Snyder.
find it.
We,
I don't
you
care
know what?
how I'm that.
You gotta find the Snyder cut of Cobra now so we can watch that.
Release
Dude.
the Cobra cut. Release the Cobra cut.
So he talks to Gonzalez, and here's basically the final bit of them two being like bros.
Cure for some gummy bears.
He wants his gummy bears because again, it's always about him eating junk food.
He's eating junk food throughout the whole movie, so
He's
it
eating
does
junk
kind of tie into it, but it's just hilarious how that works. I will say one thing though. I wish I didn't I hadn't watched this in Blu-ray. This movie really deserves to be watched either on VHS or the original crappy DVDs we used to get because it's too polished on Blu-ray,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept getting distracted by that.
I pretended it was a real video store. And I paid $3 to Amazon and watched it that way, and you could
Yeah.
still see that there was some grit in the film,
There is still
and
some
that's good. But
well, it's like I had Beverly Hills Cop 2 on Blu-ray watching it today, and it's still grainy. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't a clean transfer, but Cobra, like they tweaked it and it's very polished. And I'm like, I still love the movie, but I'm like, this movie was designed to see gritty.
I don't care how grainy Beverly Hills Cop 2 was; it was still much better than any polish they put on Beverly Hills Cop 3.
This is true, but I still have 3 and I still
Horrible.
watch it because it's still part of it.
Well, yeah, because Surge is still in it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get to. Oh, and at the end, he punches a guy in the face. Obviously,
He punches the guy that Gonzalez wanted to punch. So
and then
that
they
you
play
get,
the Beaver Brown Band.
and then we close on the Beaver Brown Band.
All right, Charlie. So let's get to one more part here that we want to start doing on these episodes, these movies.
Yep.
And if we can't find hard facts on the internet, then the human abacus Charlie Chase will count them up himself and tell you the exact, or at least as exact as we can get, body count of each movie.
Yeah. Body count.
Let's do the body count, Charlie.
body count.
What is the body count of Cobra?
The body count of Cobra is 52. 41 of those is by Cobra himself.
One by the supermarket killer, the rest by the night slasher. So who was the bad guy in this movie?
Yeah, who was the most dangerous person that the cops should be looking into? It was Mr. like Deadeye Cobra, who can just one shot kill everyone with headshots, even grenades, carries grenades with him everywhere.
Yeah, why don't he have grenades? He had grenades in a little fanny pack pouch.
Yeah, he had
thing.
like a little duffel pouch, and he
Uh-huh.
rolls out like 4 grenades, the laser submachine gun we talk about, and then his regular sidearm. And it's it's that whole trope of the never-ending ammo in the machine gun. He never reloads. It's only like a 30-round clip. Okay, I can do math. He killed 41 people.
Dude, did you notice too that he's in the same room with Brigitte? She's trying to sleep, and he's there building this gun, and it's just snap, click, click.
Oh, I
snap,
know.
Snap. And she wakes up. He goes, "Oh, you couldn't sleep?" And she's like, "No, Dick, you were building a machine gun over there as loud as you could. Of course, I couldn't sleep."
That was after the hot Cobra love scene in that movie too. You know.
Yeah, I wish I had a tougher name. Yeah, come on, dude.
Come
Get
on,
out of here.
So no, that's the first official body count for these movies, and like Dan said, we're gonna try and do that in these episodes. I think it fits well, and if I can't find it online, I'm going to watch the movie and count them.
Yeah, here watching enough times, folks. It's fine. All right, Charlie, let's get to the point now that everyone looks forward to, the Al Leong rating system, which we still need a drop for this.
We need a drop, but I'm also going to drop some knowledge before we do our rating.
No,
Unbeknownst to many people, one of the main villains in this movie was supposed to be Al Leong.
What?
And the reason why he was not cast is apparently, I didn't know about this. You didn't know about it either when I talked to you about it. There was like this coalition of people that were against Asians being hired as villains in movies.
Well, I guess that made sense. I mean, back in the day, you had a bunch of like bad guy ninjas, and you had a bunch of I don't know, James Bond villains that were Asian, I guess, and stuff. So like
these dudes are just wanting to get paid. If they feel like they're being stereotyped or being mistreated, they would not be going for these roles. I mean, I'll point out this one thing because I don't know when we'll ever do the movie. It's one I want to do.
Al Leong was never an actor anyway, so
no. But I watched the Al Leong movie that's out. That's like his autobiography.
Stuntman.
I think it's just called the Al Leong story.
Okay, all right.
So he was filming a movie, I think, with John Carpenter at one point. I don't think it was Big Trouble, but it might have been. And a studio wanted him to be one of the main villains in Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. And Al Leong really wanted to do it. He wanted to work with Brandon Lee, obviously because of the ties with Bruce Lee. And the studio, John Carpenter hadn't have a problem with it. The studio told him, "No, we can't give you the break." Excuse me. He goes, "Come on, just what do I have to do? Can I just what can I do?" They go, "Look, you're not being filmed on like a Saturday night till like the next day, but we're not paying you to go. You're on your own." So he bought his own plane ticket, flew out for like a couple of hours shoot to be the bad guy in one of probably the most iconic battle scenes for a martial arts movie in Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee. Flew out, did the fight, flew back and went back to work. So why does there have to be a coalition telling my man that he cannot be in a movie as a villain when I think it would have been awesome to have Al Leong in this movie, to be honest.
It's awesome to have Al Leong in any movie, dude.
Yeah. Not the main villain. He didn't have to. We could have still had Brian Thompson, but
he could have been the dude in the gas or the grocery store at the beginning.
Exactly. He could have been that guy. They actually got a guy that's
Kinda look like Ali Young a little
Other
bit.
culturally looking like Al Leong, I guess is the safe way to say it. But
Kinda
that's
look
my
like Ali
rant.
Young.
That's my rant. We had a chance to have Al Leong in the movie, and we didn't.
Well, Charlie, let's play the box office number game. Charlie, what do you think the estimated budget for Cobra was?
Well, A, we know it's canon. B, we know they needed more money.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Uh, 20 million.
25.
That was close.
25 million. Yeah. Opening box office weekend, US numbers, 25th of May, 1986. Were you like 2, Charlie?
86. I was 6 years old.
You were 6. Okay. I'm older than you.
Yes, you are.
By a couple. So it made 12,653,032
Yeah, it was
essentially.
not a success.
New. So, but gross worldwide was 49 million.
So
So
it,
almost doubled its money
yeah,
worldwide.
it made money at the end of the day.
For Canon, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, what was the year for this movie again?
86.
Yeah, so we're only 4 years away from their bankruptcy in 1990.
Yeah. And you said it was they cut it down to 87 minutes.
87, yeah. So it was over 2 hours, and they cut like 40 minutes out of it. So that math almost adds up right there.
Right. I mean, this is at this point, Canon 86 and stuff that, I mean, they what else were they making? I see they had just made King Solomon's Mines, Death Wish 3, so maybe that's why it had kind of a Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
They were still a few years away from making Cyborg. Over the Top was the next year in 87.
and
And Masters of the Universe.
Over the Top is the second movie in the movie deal they did with Stallone. They had a two-picture deal, and
Yeah,
one was Cobra, the other one is Over the Top.
Over the Top.
And
Yep.
unfortunately for most people that are fans of Over the Top, it was not a success either. When it came out, it was considered another flop.
I thought Over the Top was actually pretty good though.
I like I like Cobra. There's a lot of canon
Mhm.
movies that were flops that didn't. Yeah, I love them, but they just didn't go over well at the time. I think they've
Yeah, dude.
aged better.
Over the Top, another $25 million budget, worldwide gross 16 million.
Yeah, I knew it was a pretty horrendous.
That one hurt. And again, Warner Brothers had distribution on that one as well.
Yeah,
So
that Warner Brothers was the company that was keeping canon afloat till Cyborg.
yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
bad. Um, let's go to the Alliong
let's
scale.
do our Allianz.
Charlie, what kind of how many Alliongs would you like to give the Cobra?
I like this movie a lot. It's not my favorite Stallone, but it's up there. Um, this is like 3.5 Allianz for me. Um, it's high rewatchability. Some lines that are always going to be memorable. You're the disease, I'm the cure. There's just a hint of comedy that just kind of keeps it from going way too like super dirty cop, gritty cop. It still has a little bit of levity to it. But no, 3.5 Allianz I think is a solid rating for this. What about you?
Uh, I'm going to give it. Hmm, I want to give it like 2.5, but I'm probably going to give it 3.
I was gonna say
And
you gave Hot Shots Part 2 2.5, so I have to
yeah,
think Cobra was a little bit higher.
yeah, I'm going to give Cobra 3. A it, it has that Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood feel, and that gives me the nostalgic vibes of watching those kind of movies with like my grandfather and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So I kind of dug that quite a bit. Um, I get that they made him almost like a Punisher type of character where
Very,
he
very
didn't
much
give
so.
a rat's ass anymore. Whatever he could do to help society and stop the bad guy was
Yeah,
kind of cool. I dug that. I liked the comedy in it. It, like I said, it was Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry had almost no comedy. This had comedy.
yeah,
Well, Dirty Harry had no comedy unless you're just goofy and you think it's funny, which I kind of do in certain places.
exactly.
But Cobra had that. You did have some goofy ass stuff in it, with like the robot dates film camera. By the way, the guy that was the photographer
Yeah.
in that whole thing, he was in a very short-lived TV series that I actually really liked called Sledgehammer.
Oh, okay. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Sledgehammer guy.
And speaking
Uh,
on that guy, you want to
yeah.
talk about them really poking into that whole sleazy end of
Oh,
Hollywood and model making where he's like trying to get him to sleep with him and he's not even hiding it about advancing her
yeah.
career.
He tells her, he goes, "Well, it at least could help your career or something."
Like,
I got that sound clip. I was going to put it in here, and I was like, "I'm not even touching
nah,
it, dude."
nah.
That's
We were happy he got killed, basically
yeah.
is how that
I
worked.
was like, that's pretty bad. But yeah, I'll give it 3. Like I said, I thought it was pretty cool. The just the he was slick. He was Mr. Slick, kind of thing.
He's a
Did
very
he ever
cool
take his
character.
gloves off?
Yes, because I think there's a scene where he's actually putting them back on. I can't remember what that scene is exactly, but
Okay. He
um
always wore like black leather gloves too.
But yeah, black leather, full
Yeah.
full finger, not even fingerless, full
No.
finger gloves,
No.
always wearing a jacket. So I'm guessing December in Los Angeles is cool,
No,
you
it's
know.
still pretty hot, I think. But yeah.
Sunshine and everything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still pretty hot, I think. And of course, at the end, he rides off on the motorcycle with the girl, listening to the McCafferty and the Beaver Brown band. He could have been listening to, but no, which actually is probably the better of the two situations. But
Better for us.
yes.
Better for us.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and close up the show. You got anything else? You got anything else to add to this
I think
movie?
we've covered the movie, man. It's
All right, so
in the
then
collection.
let's go ahead and do the housekeeping stuff. Obviously, we want to give a shout out to our friends at Sludgecast. If you're into monster movies, if you like the King of All Monsters, check out Sludgecast. Charlie has been on there twice now, I think.
Yep, twice.
Ultimate Action Movie Club. Check them out at ultimateactionmovies.com and see some of Charlie's writings. If you are in the Johnson City and or Bristol, Tennessee areas, check out the Mountain Empire Comics. Go say hello to Diane and Rob. You can check them out on Facebook as well. We'd like to say hello to Pete and everyone over at Good Beer Bad Movie. Check those guys out. Always check out Poster Smash's work on Instagram if you get a chance to. They're also in the group. Pretty awesome there.
Yep.
You know what? The Facebook group. We have a Facebook page and we have a Facebook fan group. Get on the page because that's how we promote a lot of stuff through Facebook itself
Yeah.
because the way Facebook works. But the group is really, 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 really where it's at. It is where we continue the conversations, start the conversations. We put up some poll questions. People like to guess what movie we're doing each week.
Mm-hmm.
That's where a lot of the fun is. It's the extension of this. You guys choose to listen to us ramble for an hour or so every couple weeks, but the group, everyone can ramble through
Oh yeah.
the Facebook post.
Anybody can share on it. It's a good way to interact with us, with
Yeah.
everyone else. Share something that maybe we don't know about, or try to stump me with a movie.
Good
That I've
luck.
been noticing Pete's been trying to do that lately. Is
Yes.
see if he can
Yes.
stump. Try. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
But no, it's really good. So if you find us on the Facebook page, the page has a button that literally
Mhm.
says "Join Group." Click it. We'll get you in there. It's growing. We've added quite a few recently.
We're 200 members as
About
of the
two
time of this recording.
as of this recording, right around 208.
Yep. Check us out on Instagram. Charlie does a lot of stuff on there.
Yep, I try to mix it
You
up a little bit over there.
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, it's
Is
always
it
good
good
stuff.
stuff?
Anything I put is good.
Charlie
Caught
was
me
like,
off
what?
guard
What?
there.
Who?
What?
What?
We asking me questions during the housekeeping.
I don't know, man. I'm a dumbass. You can always email us at, here we go, Pete, gmbmampod@gmail.com. That is the letters that spell out, give me back my action movies pod@gmail.com. Wherever you listen to us, whether it be Podbean or iTunes, or I believe we're even on Alexa. If you go, hey, Alexa, play Give Me Back My
Yeah,
Action Movies, the podcast.
Spotify.
Spotify, all kinds of things. Wherever you're at, subscribe. If you can like and review, do so.
Yeah, we
But the
appreciate that.
the most powerful thing you can do to help us, if you like the show at all, even if you don't like the show, it's fine. Torture others, but tell your friends. Tell your friends about the show. Maybe you don't think that Steve in the other cubicle would be into some of these action movies, and little do you know he cosplays as Mr. Button on the weekends. You don't know.
You don't know.
So tell your friends about us. And like I said, if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. Just tell them anyway, so we can torture them for an hour.
They could
every
be
couple
like
weeks.
Rosewood in Beverly Hills Cop 2 with a Cobra poster behind their bedroom door. You know,
Exactly.
you don't know what you're gonna get.
And Big Al the Turtle. So
Big Al.
that's about all I got. I mean, I stick around because like I said, Charlie and I have kind of discussed a little bit about the next kind of few movies episodes we're going to do on here, but we don't really have them all hammered out. So that's kind of
No.
going to be fun for us even.
Yep. But
Maybe we should play
we'll
guess what movie we're going to do.
we are actively doing that right now.
That's a good point. All right, Charlie. Well, I'm out of my Road Crew Motorhead beverage in this can.
I'm out of my
So
whiskey.
yes, so we're going to go ahead and call it a an episode, a night, I guess at this point. Thanks everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. Charlie, you got anything?
I'll be back.
I knew you'd say that.